Hi everybody, it's Miss Bennett, Miss Cherie, Miss B, the Learning Bee. I have wanted to do this for a very long time. I really love learning. I'm learning all the time, everywhere I go. And I've been looking for a way to share that love of learning with all of you when you're at home and not at school. Finally, I have the time to do it, so I thought, let's jump in, let's get started. So I've opened up this learning channel, this YouTube channel, The Learning Bee, and we're going to have all kinds of fun things on here. We're going to have story time, we're going to step back and do science. We're going to have math fun, letter formation fun, scripture memory verses, the songs that we all love so much. All of that kind of thing is going to be available here. There's going to be times that you want to watch the video, and there'll be times that you want to do the same thing at home. So we'll make both kinds of videos, and you can just jump in at any time. And we'll just develop as we go along, making sure that this learning channel is full of fun and learning for you. Thank you, and God bless you. So friends, for our first video, I thought it might be fun to do a little bit of science. And this science I want to use to explain the header across the top of the video channel, of the YouTube channel. You'll see a bunch of colored dots and some really squiggly colored lines, and they look wet. And what's that all about, Miss B? Well, I was doing an experiment and it made a pretty picture, so I thought I'd share it with you. If you'd like to do the experiment too, grab a parent or an older person to help you out, and I can show you just how to do it. Since we're going to use science, I'm going to pull back my hair because now, friends, I'm getting serious. So I don't want my hair getting in the way. There, we're ready to go. Here are the things that we're going to need. I always like to bring my journal so I can write down or draw a picture of everything that happens and I can remember it for next time. We're going to need a pie plate. It can be clear like this one, or it could be white. And it doesn't really have to be a pie plate. It just has to be a dish that'll hold a little bit of water. If your pie plate is not white, the thing to do is to put underneath it a piece of paper. Any old white piece of paper will do, because we'll put it underneath our pie plate. It makes it look like the bottom of our pie plate is white, and we'll be able to see our colors a little bit better during our experiment. Another thing you're going to want to have is some kind of timer. I use my phone for a timer. You can use either the digital or the analog timer. And of course, you'll have to have a parent helping you with this, and maybe they'll let you use their phone. You might want to have, if you've got one handy, a magnifying glass. The magnifying glass will give us a closer look at what's going on in our experiment. Now remember, friends, we don't hold the magnifying glass right up next to the thing we're looking at. We don't hold the magnifying glass right up next to our face. We hold it somewhere in the middle distance in between. I think you can all remember that. We've done it a bunch of times before, haven't we? And now for this great secret ingredient. I've given up, among other things, sweets for Lent. But we're using Skittles for our experiment. So I can't eat any. I don't eat any at all, but I am going to make a pattern with them. Any kind of pattern that you like. The last ingredient that we're going to need is water. I'm using water that I can pour out of this measuring cup, and it's out of the tap, just out of the sink right over here. It's a little bit warm. It's what we call lukewarm. Kind of like the Apostle Luke, or some of you who might be named Luke, but it's lukewarm. That means I can put my finger in it and it just barely feels warm. You're going to want an adult to help you get the water to the right temperature. Now, you don't have to use lukewarm water. You can use cold water or you can use warmer water. But if you do, the experiment will change. If you do that, I'd love to hear from you how the experiment turned out with the different temperatures of water. All right, that's all our ingredients. Let's see how we put it together. Okay, you're going to want to take a good look at these Skittles. You're going to be making a pattern with them, remember? If you have a magnifying glass, get it out now. If you don't, just use those great eyes of yours. Pick up a Skittle. Are we eating it? We're not. We're experimenting with it. Take a good look at it. Look at its color. Look at its shape. You'll see a little white S stamped on the Skittle. If you have a magnifying glass, remember, put it somewhere between you and the object you want to observe. And take a good look. Now I can see it's not really solid purple. There's white specks there, all mixed in with the purple. And I can see that stamped on S a lot better with the magnifying glass. The same thing is true of any of the color of Skittles. I take a look and I can see some little white specks on the orange one, the green one, the red one, the yellow one, on all the different Skittles. Now that I've observed them, I'm going to be thinking about what kind of pattern I want to make. I have red, orange, yellow, purple, and green Skittles. I could put down green, red, yellow, orange, purple. Or I could put down green, green, yellow, orange, orange, red, red, purple, purple. Any pattern I make, I'm going to repeat. I think what I want to do is put down red, orange, yellow, green, and then purple. Then, what color do I start with? I've used every color, so I have to start over. And it's a pattern, so I have to do the same thing again. So I start again with red. Then I put down orange, yellow, green, gotta dig for this one, and purple. Let me show you what that looks like. Here's my pattern on a piece of paper. You can see it starts with red, then orange, yellow, green, purple. I've used every color by then, so I start over with my pattern. I use the same colors in the same order. Red, orange, yellow, green, and purple. Now that I've tested it out, I really like that pattern. So I think that's the pattern I'm going to use for my experiment. In the experiment, the Skittles don't go on the paper though. So for the experiment, I'm going to take my piece of paper, lay it down with no Skittles on it, take my pie plate. Remember, it doesn't have to be a pie plate. It could be a white shallow dish or even a white plate that has a little bit of a rim, because remember you want to be pouring in a little bit of water later. So it's got to be able to hold a little bit of water. So I've got my clear pie plate. I'm going to put it on my white paper so that my experiment shows up nicely. Then I put my pattern in the pie plate around the edges of the bottom. So remember my pattern? What do I start with? Red. Then orange. Yes, yellow. Green. Purple. I've used all the colors. It's time to start my pattern again. That's right. Red. Orange. That's right. Yellow. Green. And purple. I haven't finished. I need to keep going, so I've used the colors. What do I start with? That's right. Red. This one, friends, is not perfect. It's got a little white chip in it. Is that okay? You bet it is. Red, orange, Yellow, green, purple. And I'm going to keep going all the way around the plate till I get back to the first red one. I'm so excited. I've got the Skittles all the way around the bottom of my pie dish. And guess how many Skittles it took? It took 45 Skittles. 45. That's a lot of Skittles. But it wasn't all of them. But can I eat these? Nope. Gotta put them away. Now I did my pattern red, orange, yellow, green, purple all the way around the pie pan by myself. I'm really proud. Did you do yours by yourself? You can have some help. That's okay. But don't let your parent do it for you. Let them help you do it. Now comes the exciting part. I take my water. Remember, our water could be cool. It could be warm. The water I've chosen is lukewarm. I can put my finger in it and it just barely feels warmer than the air in this kitchen. I'm going to take and I'm going to pour so slowly and carefully right in the middle of my pie pan. Watch. I'm trying not to move any of my Skittles. I'm also trying to come a little bit more than halfway or about halfway up my Skittles. As soon as I'm done, I start the timer. Here we go. We're going to see how long it takes to get a rainbow from these Skittles. Take a look at this, friends. I am 1 minute and 30 seconds into my experiment, and the colors have come all the way to the middle of the pie pan. Do you remember why that number 45 might be there? That's right. I have 45 Skittles going all the way around my pie pan. That's 5 more than, let's see, 5 more than the days of Lent. How many days are in Lent? That's right, 40 days in Lent. 45 Skittles in my experiment. How about this rainbow? It's looking pretty good, isn't it? I'm very pleased with it. Let's see what happens in a few more minutes. Okay, friends, can you see this? If I use my magnifying glass down on the side of my pie pan, I can see that my Skittles, where the water has come up their sides, all the color has come off. So where do you think the color in the rainbow, right down there, has come from? That's right. It came from the coating on the outside of the Skittles. Well, friends, this is what my experiment looks like 4 minutes in. I poured the water on 4 minutes ago. Look at the middle of the rainbow here. I'll zoom in. Take a look there. Everything's meeting in the middle. Out at the edges, you can still see a difference between where the purple, the red, the orange, the yellow, and the green are. I should have said red first. What's my pattern again? Red, orange, yellow, green, and purple. Why can I see each line of color? Why don't they just all mix together into a big muddy brown color? Oh, hi. I figured it out. The reason the colors come out in a line from the Skittles is because of the ingredients that they use to make the different colors that coat the Skittles. Each one of those ingredients is different. They use one thing to make it red, a different thing to make it orange, yellow, green, or purple. So the water, when it mixes with those ingredients, is a certain weight. The water of purple water is a different weight than the yellow water, and the orange water, and the green water, and the red water. Each one is a little bit different weight, so they don't mix very easily. Of course, if I jiggle the pie pan, I mix the water. I use my energy, and it shakes the pie pan, and that energy moves into the water, jiggles the water, and I get mixed up muddy brown water. But I didn't have it at the beginning, and it's all interesting and fun. I've learned a lot. So I'm going into my journal, and I'm going to find the first clean page. Don't forget, when you get your journal, you're going to need a pencil or a marker or a crayon to write down your observations. You're the scientist here, and your observations are important. We want to hear them. This is a new journal, so my first clean page is right at the beginning. I'm going to put the date on. Today's date is March. Let's see. March begins with M. March. The date, let's see, the date today is the 16th. March the 16th. And the year again? That's right, 2020. 2020. Now I'm going to draw a picture and write what I saw. I think I'm going to start with the 45 Skittles. 4, 5, sk. Oh, have fun doing your own journaling, and I'll see you next time. I forgot to say it before, but you know this anyway. Don't leave the mess for Mom or Dad. Let's clean up our own mess. See you next time.